Good morning from the Coastal Art Center of Orange Beach. I'm Amarina Bruton and I'm lucky enough to be the art education coordinator here. And that means I get to teach a lot of fun projects with the kids in our community. And today I'm going to talk to you guys about our Sharpie Art project. Okay, the first thing you're gonna wanna do is collect your supplies. And most of these things you probably have in your home already. The first thing you're going to look for is 91% isopropyl alcohol. If you have another kind of rubbing alcohol that is a lower percentage, you can use it, but it won't be as effective. The next thing you're going to look for are permanent markers. You can use these really big fat markers. It makes the project go faster because you can fill your tile quicker, but the smaller permanent markers work just as well, just takes a little bit longer. You're gonna need a tile of some sort. So we have 3x3 white tiles. We find they work great because the color shows up really well and it's not too big of a service that it takes a long time to fill in. But if you have leftover tiles from a project you've done around your house, you can use those as well. And then finally, you're going to need one of these items. Most people have Q-tips, so they work great. If you have a little spray bottle that you can put your rubbing alcohol in, that's also great. Or little droppers. You can use a little pipette like this to drip your alcohol. The straw is fun for kids a lot of times when they want to push the alcohol around to make designs. Finally, if you want to keep your tile paint from running or getting smudged, you can apply a clear gloss to it once it's dry, and then it will maintain its color for a long time. Okay, so I will demonstrate for you what you need to do. I'll show you some examples of tiles that were begun. This tile, someone used obviously the rainbow colors. So something you can learn from using rainbow colors is the warm colors are in the beginning of the rainbow, red, orange, and yellow, and cool colors are the second half of the rainbow, green, blue, and purple. It also shows these are complementary colors. Red and green are complementary, orange and blue are complementary, yellow and purple are complementary. You can also talk about primary colors and secondary colors if you'd like to. So this project, because of the options you have with colors, you can talk about color theory to teach students as well. Okay, so I will go ahead and show you what I'm talking about. Choose what colors you think will look good together. So I'm going to do blues and greens and yellows. Do a darker blue also, and you need to remember to fill in your tile completely, okay? Try not to leave much white, and you really can just scribble if you want to and just do colors all over. I would suggest you use at least one light color. If you do nothing but dark colors, sometimes it gets a little murky. If you only do light colors, sometimes it gets too faded. So a combination of the two is what I have found that works best. So you see this is not some sort of perfect design, but I'm filling in that white space. Try to get your edges colored in. Okay. Now for the fun part. So you can use your different methods of putting alcohol on the tile. I will warn you, if you use too much alcohol, you'll end up getting a really faded color. So be careful with how much alcohol you use, okay? So I'm gonna start with a Q-tip because that's the most common thing you'll have in your house to use. So I'll take this rubbing alcohol, dip the Q-tip in it, and then I'm just gonna gently touch and tap. And there's a really cool effect that happens when the alcohol touches the marker. The alcohol will take away some of that color, and it's a chemical reaction, so it's cool for the kids to see that. It's a little bit of science mixed in with art. So I will do some dabbing all around the edges. The goal is to make your marker look like watercolor. You don't want people to look at your tile and think it's just something that you used marker on. Okay, and then I'll show you when you use the spray bottle, it does more of a splatter effect. So be careful because you don't want to use too much. So do one spray at a time and see how that had a big impact. So if you want to do a little bit more, you can. You're making progress to covering your tile. And then finally, you can use a little pipette, a little dropper. And be careful because if you use too much, again, it's going to take away too much color. So a little drop. You have these cool circle patterns that are created. You can see the alcohol expanding. Looks really cool. The kids love this. Now you can use your straw if you'd like to and blow the alcohol around. The colors are mixing together and making new colors. You also can just pick up your tile and tilt it and see the alcohol run in different places. That changes the pattern as well. So you're just going to look for any spots that still look like marker. So that section still looks like marker. I'm going to address that with my Q-tip and dab it around. Sometimes people want to use the Q-tip as if it is like a paintbrush, but that ends up not looking as interesting a lot of times as if you just use it to dab. It's not meant to create a picture. This is abstract art. If you have colors that are next to each other and you want their borders to be blemished, then you can just kind of tap along those borders and that will help the colors mix together. If you see any white spots and you don't want white spots, then you can put your Q-tip there as well and add more color. I like to make sure my edges have color on them. And when you are happy with what you have, then you let it dry. It takes only a couple of minutes to dry. And then you're welcome to spray your gloss on there. If you want to use these as coasters, then you can put a little felt on the bottom to make sure the tiles don't scratch any surface. And another interesting thing that you can do if you absolutely do not like how your tile turned out, because the alcohol is so powerful, you can just spray your tile with alcohol, take a napkin, paper towel or a towel, and just wipe the color right off, okay? Now remember, you probably will get Sharpie on your hands, but you can just spray alcohol on that as well, and that will help take the Sharpie off, okay? So the alcohol is the change agent in this project, okay? So I hope you guys have a fun time making tile art and have an awesome day.